It seems like it's happening, folks. Sorry, I just ate lunch and then this came through. There's an article on D&D Beyond and a subsequent Gizmodo article. We'll check out both, but take a look at this. OGL 1.0 and Creative Commons. When you give us playtest feedback, we take it seriously. Already more than 15,000 of you have filled out the survey. Here's what you said. 88% of you do not want to publish content under OGL 1.2. 90% would have to change some aspect of their business to accommodate OGL 1.2. 89% are dissatisfied with the deauthorization of OGL 1.0a. 86% are dissatisfied with the draft VTT policy. 62% are satisfied with including SRD content in Creative Commons, and a majority of those who are dissatisfied ask for more SRD content in the Creative Commons. These live survey results are clear. You want OGL 1.0a, you want irrevocability, you like Creative Commons. The feedback is in such high volume and its direction is so plain to see that we're acting now. We are leaving OGL 1.0a in place as is, untouched. We are also making the entire SRD 5.1 available under a Creative Commons license. You choose which you prefer to use. This Creative Commons license makes this content freely available for any to use. We don't control that license and cannot alter or revoke it. It's open and irrevocable in a way that doesn't require you to take our word for it. And its openness means there's no need for a VTT policy. Placing the SRD under a Creative Commons license is a one-way door. There's no going back. Our goal here is to deliver on what you wanted. So what about the goals that drove us when we started this process? We wanted to protect the D&D play experience into the future. We still want to do that with your help. We're grateful that this community is passionate and active because we'll need your help protecting the game's inclusive and welcoming nature. We wanted to limit the OGL to TTRPGs. With this new approach, we are setting that aside and counting on your choices to define the future of play. Here's a PDF of SRD 5.1 with the Creative Commons license. By simply publishing it, we place it under an irrevocable Creative Commons license. We'll get it hosted in a more convenient place next week. It was important that we take this step now, so there's no question. We'll be closing the OGL 1.2 survey now. We'll be talking with you about how we can better support our players and creators. Thanks, as always, for continuing to share your thoughts. Kyle Brink, executive producer, D&D. This is huge, folks. Let's check the article from Gizmodo. All right, let's see. They're abandoning plans previously stated in the drafted OGL 1.2. The statement comes after relentless fan backlash against the decision to deauthorize what was revealed after IO9 reported the leaked OGL 1.1. The OGL 1.0a was the sticking points for fans. Opinions varied, it couldn't even be legally deauthorized. We talked about that. All right, so it's basically exactly what I just covered. So I can't say, again, not a lawyer, but based on everything we've been advocating for the past month or so, I'm going to talk to a lawyer. We're going to do probably a live stream later tonight if I can get it to work. Did we do it? Did we win? I think we might have won. At least in that aspect. They're leaving OGL 1.0a alone. They're putting everything that you already currently have under a Creative Commons license, which means it's a one-way door and irrevocable. Again, this is still kind of breaking news. We're still discussing what this all means at the moment, but we came out in droves in defense of how we felt about this. And I'll be honest, I said this myself. I said there's no way they're going to leave the OGL 1.0a alone. I figured there was absolutely no way we were going to get them to concede on that. That was their sticking point. Apparently, I was wrong. But what's important is we wait to see what the ultimate outfall of all of this is. But they're saying it's all available right now. You can click the SRD 5.1 in the Creative Commons license. It's right here. Here it is, right? This is the entirety of the SRD 5.1. Look at, right? Human, dwarf, halfling, dragonborn, gnome, half-elf. This is all here. We continue to scroll down, all 403 pages, right? The cleric, base class, subclass, the spells, the magic items, it's here, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but we got what we ultimately began asking for, and they're tabling OGL 1.2 seemingly for the time being. And this is kind of what I had always hoped would have happened when it had all started, is that you could continue to create in 5th edition, as we are kind of seeing now, with no repercussions. Perhaps a new version of the OGL, whatever they're going to call it, 1.2, 2.0, 6.7, whatever it's going to be going forward, that will be applied to the new 1 D&D edition going forward. This, however, seems to be untouchable now, which is a big, big step in us getting what we actually wanted. So we'll see. I think this is them listening, and they have come out and said, and right, we can't fault them for that. They said they were going to take the feedback seriously. They gave us hard numbers on how people felt about it with the percentages there, and they're rather than waiting, right? The survey was supposed to be open till next week at some point, or the end of this week. They decided to close it now and then act. Again, could this be on the heels of firing 1,000 Hasbro employees earlier this morning and the movie being right around the corner? Possibly. We can never know that truth. But it seems like things we're doing well in that aspect. So this is where it comes down to what I've been talking about for a while. Is it possible? I'm a little low in the frame here. Can Wizards of the Coast win you back, right? Think about it. A lot of people said it's OGL 1.0 way or the highway, and they're leaving it alone. So based on that, would you go back to Dungeons & Dragons? Did you already switch your entire set of campaigns to something new? Or would you continue or consider going back? I don't think any of us out there that were D&D content creators that have been through all of this are ever going back 100% to Dungeons & Dragons. I know I'm not. Might I still cover Dungeons & Dragons things in the future? That's a possibility, right? We'll see. There's a lot has happened at this point, so there's a lot to take in. However, I'm still going to continue to cover other things like Pathfinder and, Dragonbane and GURPS and all these other RPGs I have over here on this other list. I am still going to continue to do that. But this is the inflection point we've been talking about, folks. A lot of people said, the big sticking point people had was if OGL 1.0A goes away, that's it. That's the only thing they could do to possibly win me back, or at least keep me slightly in their good graces, can keep the tiniest shred of goodwill. Seems like they did it. So where do you land on all of this? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Be on the lookout for a live stream coming up at some point in the near future. Hopefully we can get my lawyer friend or somebody else on here to talk about it from a legal perspective. And I will see you all next time.